Hey everyone, welcome back to Installation 00, and I've just got a really quick news video for you just to get you up to speed on what's going on behind the scenes in regards to the structure of 343 Industries. More specifically relating to some of the senior positions and leadership within 343 Industries seemingly leaving. So stick with me real quick while we just get through this. We're all very much aware that over the past couple of weeks, Microsoft has let go of 10,000 employees across all branches of Microsoft. Of these 10,000, it is now confirmed that 75 individuals lost their jobs at 343 Industries. These individuals came from many different positions across 343 Industries, but many of them seemed to lean towards the campaign and DLC side of the studio. On top of this, and the part that really sort of caught people's attention, was the fact that Joe Staten has left 343 Industries. Everyone who knows anything about Halo knows that Joe Staten is very heavily involved in the entire history of Halo. He was part of the original team that created Halo from 1999 all the way through until 2010 when Bungie let go of Halo and handed it off to 343 Industries. And although he left Halo with Bungie back in 2010 and has done other things in between, he returned to Halo with 343 Industries and the creation of Halo Infinite as the studio's creative lead. And on this point, by definition, Joe Staten was always kind of on loan from Xbox Game Studios, and was kind of brought on board or subcontracted to 343 Industries to help with shipping Halo Infinite. Now that job is complete, he has now returned to Xbox Game Studios. Now I can't take credit for this particular find, but Funky over on Twitter discovered the LinkedIn profiles for Kiki Wolfkill and Frank O'Connor have both been updated and no longer list 343 Industries as their primary place of work, with Kiki Wolfkill's listing as Head of IP Expansion and Entertainment at Xbox, and Frank O'Connor as Experienced Creative Director at Microsoft. Now, although we haven't received official word regarding their positions at the company, and the wording of these two job titles could indeed just be vague enough to still fit in with 343 Industries, it's still significant enough to worth mentioning. We already know for certain that Joe Staten has left 343 Industries, and we already know for certain that Bonnie Ross stepped down from 343 Industries quite a while ago, leaving just Kiki Wolfkill and Frank O'Connor as some of the original leadership assigned to 343 Industries upon its creation. So if these changes of job listing do actually reflect a truth in that they have left 343 Industries, that means that the entire leadership of 343 Industries has now left the company. We know that when Bonnie Ross stepped down, her position was effectively fragmented and 3 people stepped into those fragmented positions, with Pierre Hintz now occupying the position of studio head. And while I won't speak to the internal politics of what was going on within 343 Industries, I will say that many of the individuals that have since been laid off from 343 Industries as a consequence of the 10,000 layoffs through Microsoft have come forward to say that many of the issues surrounding Halo Infinite specifically was related directly to poor leadership. Now again, on this point it's worth mentioning it that this could just literally be he said, she said hearsay, and thus should be taken with a pinch of salt. If what these ex-employees have said has any validity to it, and the seemingly adjusted job listings for Frank O'Connor and Kiki Wolfkill are accurate, that means really the entire core leadership team are now gone. But in either case, whether that's true or not, this speaks to a larger dialogue and narrative that's been going on with 343 Industries for quite a while that we're all fully aware of. And that's the case that many of the people who were brought on board to develop Halo Infinite were actually subcontractors. They weren't actually technically directly in the employment of 343 Industries. And this seemingly endless flow of contractors, with their contracts expiring after a year or so and then being supplanted by somebody else, evidently contributed to the state that Halo Infinite reached us, the players. And if you consider on top of that the fact that even an individual like Joe Staten, with his status and reputation across the Halo franchise, can effectively still technically be brought in as something of a subcontractor, kind of on lease from Xbox Game Studios to 343 Industries just to help get Infinite out of the door. And now both Kiki Wolfkill and Frank O'Connor have, at least at face value, seemingly left the company and moved across into new positions within Xbox and Microsoft, both of which are the parent companies of 343 Industries. Just quickly, in addition to this, based on my own research and dive into LinkedIn and the listings in general, I found that while Frankie is much more vague in regards to exactly what his current position is, so it could be left up to interpretation, Kiki, on the other hand, vacated her position as executive producer within 343 Industries in December of 2012, and then in March of 2015 became studio head of Halo Transmedia and Entertainment at 343 Industries, evidently leaving a 3-year gap between those two positions that is overlapped by a position that she started in January of 2013, immediately following the executive producer position at 343 Industries, and continues to present the position of Microsoft Partner Executive Producer. On top of this, the position of Head of Xbox IP Expansion and Entertainment began in November of 2022, just 2 months ago, and continues to present. So from this, I'm reading that effectively she started a new position in November within Microsoft, quite separately from 343 Industries, and yet had a persistent position of Microsoft Partner Executive Producer at Microsoft for the entirety of her more recent position at 343 Industries as Studio Head Halo Transmedia and Entertainment. And a position that predates all of these is Director of Art at Microsoft Game Studios. So, in simple terms, Kiki has worked at Microsoft independently of 343 Industries in a consistent position since 1998 until present, overlapping the entire time that she's been with 343 Industries, again suggesting to this culture of subcontracting or leasing individuals from Microsoft or Xbox Game Studios into 343 Industries. Again, take from this what you will. Again, I can't take credit for this particular find, and these job listings are at least vague enough to still imply that they are within 343 Industries, as, like I said, both Microsoft and Xbox are still direct affiliates of 343 Industries, and both Frankie and Kiki could both be on loan in the same way that Joe was for Halo Infinite. I don't know, it leaves a lot on the air, but ultimately we're still expecting seasonality. I'm still looking forward to Season 3 for Halo Infinite, as there's tons of new lore that's going to come out, hopefully with the new armour cores that I can cover for the semi-powered infiltration armour, along with the new Fractures core, so things are still looking relatively positive for Halo in general, and when you tally this up with the recent statement released by Phil Spencer in regards to Halo, it does seem like there's quite a large restructuring going on to make sure that Halo has as best a future as it can possibly hope for. If there was any truth to the leadership being the main problem behind the development problems, and these recent finds on LinkedIn prove to be true, then I suppose that's no longer an issue. Again, take it with a pinch of salt, I'm just relaying the information as and when I come across it. So without making any foregone conclusions, I'd love to hear your comments on exactly what you make of this particular situation. And until next time. Thanks for watching. If you're new here and liked what you saw, go ahead and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button while you're at it so you don't miss my future uploads. Links are in the description to get connected and jump into the Discord community with me, and if you really love the content I'm making, consider supporting the channel over on Patreon for tons of awesome perks. Pop your comments down below if you have an idea of what I should cover next, and hang around for the end of the video for other suggested videos you might be interested in. Huge shoutouts to my patrons: Spartan10148, the metarch of my installation, Falcon, Prophet, Phantom, Thomas, Mikhail and Irrefutable Justice, my monitors, Andrew, Cameron, Darian, Flaming Halo, Madness, Masked Owl, Michael, Spartan0137, the Cave Potato, Uwu Master and Wolf Eclipse, my sub-monitors, my growing fleet of Strato Sentinels, my ever-vigilant Enforcers, and all the other awesome patrons that are helping to support the channel in a big way. Huge shout out to Todd Morrison for keeping the installation powered with that glorious vacuum energy. Much love to you all, take it easy everyone, and find peace in the domain.